What's up? This is Gordon Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219. Stand up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man, Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
And that's my fault again. Anyway, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let's start it off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, welcome to the show today. We got a good show today, man. It's a real close one to me, okay, because I know this dude, all right? I know this guy. I seen him from, high school, all right? Might have even been junior high school to see where he's gone to now, man, is a fantastic story. We were talking a little bit beforehand as Zell was with us. You know, a lot of people of our color, we don't get a chance to do that. We don't get a chance to make that grind and make it pay off. And this guy has done that, and he's done it with flying colors to a point where him and his team have won an Emmy for their work, for what they've done on television. He's on the ABC affiliate in South Bend, Indiana. His name is Levon Whittaker, and we're gonna get a chance to talk to him and hear about his journey. But let's get the people on, all right? She already smiling. What's up, Jim?
Don't be throwing me under the bus. They didn't know.
You already grinning.
I'm so excited. We got GI in the house today, man. Yes.
Yes, sir. What's going on, Zell?
What's happening, everybody?
Hey, Zell.
How y'all doing? What's happening? Dope Living TV in the house.
That's right.
Let's get them.
Mo B, what's up?
What's happening? What's happening?
Mo B, what's happening, brother?
Yeah. Marcella, what's good, baby?
Hey.
What's happening, big sis?
In the house. Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Gina's still grinning.
I am.
Jay Real.
What it do?
Yeah, coach.
What's going on?
Hello, sir.
I saw y'all. I just gotta say, I saw y'all. Like I saw Zell. I saw you doing your thing. I saw. Oh, y'all! I'm so proud of y'all.
What? Everybody out here, that's the goal. Everybody out here doing interviews, doing their things, and this and that, man. Let's get it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Fox Cole checking us out tonight. Shout out to Aspire TV as well. Okay, y'all go on, bump heads. We love it like that. All right.
Yes, come on with it. Come on now. Come on.
I know, right?
Yes.
I love it. Anyway, man,
great.
This guy here, like I said, it's my little brother. I can honestly call him little brother. Okay, he's a multimedia journalist. He's a sports announcer, and he's an Emmy Award-winning on an Emmy Award-winning team.
Commentator.
ABC in South Bend, Indiana. Let's bring on my guy, Levon Whittaker. What's going on, Levon?
Hey,
how you doing, sir? What's going on, brother?
What's going on? GI in the building. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Good.
Appreciate y'all having me on. Miss Gina, Zell, Mo B, Marcella, Jeff, and Greg. Man. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, this dude has an Emmy, y'all.
Hey.
All right.
But you know what?
What's up?
I thought you were gonna say he was a multi-dollar millionaire. I was gonna say, loan me $1. Just $1.
Gina, you still trying to get that dollar?
I'm still trying to get that dollar.
Now you better watch up, man. She don't like $1. She like 600.
Get out.
Hey, look, you gotta ask. You don't know until you ask.
Okay.
It's true.
Levon, welcome to the show, brother. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Been trying to get you on for a while. I know you're busy. So thanks for giving us this time.
Yes.
Of course.
So, man, we're gonna start at the beginning, bro. We're gonna start way back. Now, I've known this gentleman since he was in junior high school. I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Man, and he this is one guy that never gave up on anything. He played baseball. Was a good baseball player too, but never gave up on anything that he did. Okay, and Levon, just give us a little brief history of you back in the day.
Man, like you said, baseball is my life.
Baseball's his life. Then boop boop. Oh, there.
I'm like, he went back to go play baseball.
I'm gonna have to start with something else.
I'm sorry.
Baseball is my life, man. That's what I love doing, man. Played from the age of 4. Went to Indiana State University and tried out for 5 years straight. While getting my degree. So it was literally what I wanted to do and what I consumed myself with. But going back to that time, man. Went to Indiana State, got my undergrad and a double major in communication broadcasting and IT. Never wanted to be on cameras. I wanted to be behind the camera the entire time. Had no aspirations of being on TV at all. And graduated in 2016, moved to Indianapolis, got my graduate degree in 2018, I mean. And but in 2017, just go back a little bit, in 2017, I started a YouTube channel. I started to do like a ESPN First Take type of thing, just started recording on my cell phone, man, just with MVP takes, and made a couple appearances through the ESPN First Take, Your Take contest, and things kind of took off from there, where I started to cover high school sports throughout Indianapolis, through basketball and football. I had a mentor, my guy Jay Graves, who's from Gary, and was a huge impact on what I was able to do early on to cover the young athletes in Indianapolis. And then, really, man, it was a grind. It was, how can I find time in my regular 9 to 5 doing IT and switching from kind of the hardware side of IT to the software side. And I mean, nights where I was up to 3, 4 in the morning to, record a video and do highlights from a high school basketball game that I went to, girls or boys. And eventually, man, it was something just clicked in me. I think I got laid off from IT because of the pandemic in 2020. And I was just like, I have nothing to lose. I was like 26. I was up all day. This is my dream, talking about sports. I started to do notes and start to take it really serious outside of my 9 to 5. I purposely would not. I worked for the Indiana Pacers at the time doing camera work, and I wouldn't take any other work outside of what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to consume my time in pursuing my real aspirations in life, which was being a sports reporter. And so at that time, like I said, something clicked one day, and I grabbed my cousin, who was responsible for helping me get Sportswood off the ground. And we went out and shot a couple of stand-ups, man. And from there, that's what I used for my YouTube channel. That's what I used to put my reel out there, to show my face to people. And ABC 57 said yes. I did like 7, 8 interviews in 2 days, and they were the only station that said yes. I probably had about 12 interviews total. I had a mentor, Steve Jefferson, he was at WTHR in Indianapolis at the time. Didn't know who I was, never met me. Got in touch with him, and he and a guy named Julian Grace mentored me, and kind of just got me up to speed on how I should be as a journalist and what I needed to work on. And they thought I was the best thing smoking for a little bit. That the fact that I really want to do this at the age of 26 with no prior experience. And I got to ABC 57, man, and it's been life changing. I started out as a regular day-to-day reporter. My hard work, my grind, the same grind I got now, got me promoted to full-time sports back in March of this year. but they gave me the high school football show back in August, like 4 months into the job. They gave me a high school football show. It was it's been life changing, man. It's but not surprising because it's what I worked for, and I got a long way to go.
Dude, I'm telling you, he has. I mean, and he told us step by step too. Okay, and I'm grinning because I know for a fact there's been times where I've called this guy, and it's like, well, I'm about to call you back, and you know how people do. Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna call you back. But I'm gonna call back immediately. All right, but I understood because he was doing something that was called Sports Wit. Okay, there's a portion of his last name and sports. Now, from the moment that I've known this guy, he's always talked about sports. He knew sport. I mean, he knew every single thing there was inside out about sports. Each and every sport there was, he knew it. You knew if you wanted a fact. If y'all ask him a question right now, he'd probably tell y'all. But if you wanted a fact, he knew it. All right. If he had to get to someplace, he got there. All right. He took every bit of resources, every bit of money, all the time. And like he said, he broke the door down where the door was actually locked. Okay. So I compliment you on that, Levon. Like, Coach, you got a question?
Yeah. He was talking about you took all the necessary steps and resources. You know, for the people watching, what are those necessary steps and resources that you took to get to this point right now in your career? You know, what's that in-between period look like for you?
With actually being at ABC 57 right now?
Yeah, definitely.
Man, saying yes to every opportunity. Yes to every opportunity. It was a time, I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and there was a time last year when it was Founders Day, and I was headed back to Indianapolis where I crossed that to hang out with my line brothers and, you know, my chapter and my station. Like I said, this is in like November. I'm not the sports guy at all. It's another sports reporter. And they said, we want you to go cover this story, you know, about this team that beat another team pretty bad. See if you can get them to talk, you know. And again, I'm packed up ready for a 2-hour trip up the road, 2.5-hour trip. I dropped everything. Went and pursued this story, got into a school that I wasn't supposed to be in and trying to ask questions and stuff. And that's the type of stuff where you just don't pass up on opportunities. Having that grind and dropping everything and saying, I'm gonna make this work. And I didn't end up doing a story, but I never said no. When they asked me to go drive 4 hours to Ohio to see Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame, before he was named the head coach. They was like, can you go to his hometown in Ohio, 4.5 hours away, and see if you can find anybody in relation to him to talk? Well, I ended up going there and finding his father, and I did an exclusive interview with his father.
Wow.
And I was the only person in the world to have that interview. It was the first person.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are the things you just can't pass up on.
No.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's called that grind, y'all. Y'all gotta have that grind.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Take every opportunity. Why would you not take the opportunities? A lot of people are afraid, and never was. And I'm saying that wrong, I know, dude, but I never was wrong. Never was afraid to take these opportunities. Now there was a moment of time. There was this guy, man, who came at you. He had this little television network, all right, and he was he definitely believed in you, okay, and said, hey man, look, just send me something. And you know, who was that guy, dude?
I think he go by the name of Greg Gray, man. DopelivenTV, man.
Here we go.
The privilege, you know, little self-play. I had the privilege of working with Greg for, I don't even know how long it was, man, but we was trying to figure that out, right? We was trying to be like, hey, look, I'm gonna make content for my show, but I'm gonna make content for your show too. I got plenty to talk about. Kaepernick situation was going on at the time. It was a lot moving at the time. And yeah, man, having that platform to expand, right? Like I wasn't just putting out episodes on my platform on YouTube. I was able to reach another platform. And the bigger part of that was these were people watching from my hometown,
right?
From the region, from Gary. So that was something to be proud of, to give the kids. I didn't know how it was going to impact them, but give the kids something to look forward to. A guy talking about sports, to think about sports. It's everybody talks about it.
It was practice, bro. Let's keep it 100. It was practice for him. But you know, it was good. Like I said, he took every opportunity he could. All right, that was an opportunity we presented to him, and he took it, and he did a great job at it too. So again, man, you know, we're encouraged, and I hope everybody that watches is encouraged as well. That you know you can again, go through something to get to something. Okay, and this guy knocked down some doors, like I said. Jenny, you got a question?
Yes, Levon.
Yes.
Look, Greg said you can answer any question about sports. What is going on with my Patriots, man? What's going on with Bill Belichick?
Tell the truth, Levon. Don't hold
Don't sugarcoat.
I need some answers.
You know what? I'm probably the wrong person to ask that question because I can't stand the Patriots.
He got cold water in his draw.
I'm a New York Yankees fan and I'm a LA Chargers fan in Miami Heat, but I cannot stand Boston.
Beat the crap out of us.
I cannot stand Boston. But my best friend is a Patriots fan. My main best friend, college roommate for 5 years, loves the Patriots. Growing pains. When you lose Tom Brady, that's your identity for 15 plus years. You know,
say that.
Right.
You lose Josh McDaniels to the Oakland Raiders. You lose what's the defensive coordinator? You lost him to Detroit. You get him back. Now he's the offensive coordinator. There's a lot of things going on up in New England.
That sounds like the Titans.
They just dismantled that team,
Man, right?
But hey, it is what it is. Like you said, growing pains, man. You start over. Who knows? It may not be in my lifetime, but you know they might get back up there.
You got Bill Belichick. You got the piece to make the formula, so you're not far off. So
right, exactly. But it might not be in my lifetime. And I don't know. Zell, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question. You might not be able to answer it. So if you decide not to answer it, I'm okay with that because I know you're on an ABC affiliate. So the situation with TJ Holmes, how serious is the matter of two on-air personalities having a relationship outside of being on camera? Like, what are some of the rules that you guys aren't supposed to cross, if you could share?
Just ask him, ask him, Zell, are you sleeping with anybody that you work with?
Now that's the question that's gonna make the man sweat bullets.
No. My lady she's not in the industry, she's back home, you know. But
let him know.
That's I don't even have no advice from the station, right? You know where I'm from, from Gary. My father just don't poop where you sleep at, man. It's simple as that. You don't need the type of problems.
I said that. Don't poop where you sleep, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna get vulgar, but don't do that. Regardless of what industry you in. You can be in the factory. Hey.
That's true.
Hey, Levon, we get a little vulgar on here too, dude.
Hey, I respect it. I gotta say, what's it called? Name, image, and likeness.
Levon, they do.
I believe this is a real down to earth crew. I believe it.
We got Christianity above you, man. So we watch a little bit what we say.
She keep it on track. She gonna put it back on track.
You need a regulator, all right?
Levon, you know me. I'm the one that messed it up. All right.
You gotta open the floodgate.
Said it yesterday. I'm gonna say it again. When I mess up really bad, Marcy will frown, but Zell up in the corner, his head will go down.
What'd you do? Go ahead, Zell.
I know I done went too far. Okay. Lanita Charleston says, I remember when Levon was going to softball practice, sitting on the front porch talking with my kids. Just make me smile to hear him soar.
To see him soar. Yeah.
That means a lot.
That's great.
That means a lot. Because I vaguely remember that.
So, Levon, what obstacles have you encountered? I know you mentioned some, but what are some of the main obstacles that you've encountered trying to get to where you're at?
Man, trying to figure out what I really want to do. It was worth it. Even now, right? We got contracts, and you get in the comfort zone. I never seen myself covering Notre Dame of all schools, but I love Notre Dame. My girlfriend's family is from here, and they love Notre Dame, and it is the best opportunity I've ever had. So the barrier right there is, where do you go from here? How can I excel? How can I be what I really want to be? What do I want to be? A sports reporter? Do I want to be an announcer? Do I want to be an analyst? Like, those are the daily questions that I have. But even getting here, man, it was when will I have my break? Or when I was just doing the podcast before you want to get in news, when will somebody notice me? And when I made it onto ESPN First Take the first time, and I got to on there, and it was on my birthday, and back in 2017.
Yep.
Wow.
What's up?
And
that's when I thought you wasn't gonna come back to Dope Living TV, man. Now he got it. He gone.
Look, hey, look, you don't never turn down no opportunity, big or small, man, big or small. But the guy that I told him I was doing it, he's like, man, look, I don't care. I told him off camera, I said, like, I've been doing this podcast. I just want to know what I got to do to keep, get to where you at. And he was like, man, I had a podcast for 7 years, and he's still with ESPN to this day. I forget his name. But he told me, he said, I don't care if you got 1 subscriber or 1 follower or 100 views, or 100, you keep going.
Exactly.
And the biggest thing for me was growth. I'll allow people to see my mistakes. I want you to see my mistakes. I want you to see where I started, from a cell phone to a little bitty iPad to a DSLR camera, and now to a Sony camera paid for by ABC. And it's only going to get larger. And the thing of it is just allow people to see your growth, man. That's been the biggest.
That's so important, man. Allow people to see that growth, okay? Because
definitely
see it. Let them see it. You make mistakes, but you learn from those mistakes. Marcella, you had a question?
Yes, Levon, what's your most enjoyable and your least enjoyable part of journalism?
The least enjoyable part is the amount of time I get to turn stuff in. Especially in sports, right? Sporting event happened at 7:00. Our newscast starts at 10, and my producers and editors are like, "Where you at, man? Like, game over at 9. Where you stuck? I got a post-game interview. I got 5 sound bites. So the least enjoyable part about that is the split. Especially on an entry-level stage like this, where you do all the work yourself. You are the multimedia journalist. You shoot, you record, edit, you do all the editing, everything.
Wow.
So that's tough, and that was a very tough adjustment when I first got here. In fact, I had a manager tell me, "You might have chose the wrong career," because I was struggling.
Wow,
struggling. But I took that and I turned that into, if you saying that, I'm being in your office every day.
You actually said that.
There you go.
You think I chose the wrong career? I'm meeting your office every day because you've been here, and so I want you. It's your job to coach me up on how I make me feel like I chose the right career. So, but the most enjoyable part of it has been just, man. Miss Marcel, I couldn't even tell you. I'm every day is like a kid in the candy store. I'm a kid in the candy store every day. I'm itching every day.
Wow.
That's got to be kind of disheartening, for somebody that's supposed to be one of your peers telling you, "Hey, man, look, you might want to get us up and go back to, whatever you was doing before this." I mean, it's got to be a little bit disheartening. But again, it proves who you are. You take a negative and turn it into a positive. That's a good thing. Jeff, you had a question?
Yeah, you said it's some steps involved, some things you got to do. You know what I mean, to get the story out, everything. Dealing with your deadlines and such. I want to know. Give us a day the whole day that you go through from start to finish when you have to do coverage for a story.
Okay, I'll start with my day tomorrow.
Okay.
There is a women's basketball game at noon. Notre Dame, and these are opportunities you don't pass up on because all eyes are on Notre Dame women's basketball. They're number 5 in the country right now, so you got to understand the optics. We don't have a sports department. I'm the sports reporter, so everything sports goes through me and my sports anchor, who's normally just here mainly for football, and she comes in. She's the head honcho, but shout out to Allison Hayes, and she has groomed me up, man, magnificently. But I'll start with tomorrow. Game at noon. I shoot the game. I go to post game if I can, because Marcus Freeman, the head coach, is speaking at 2 about the preparation for the bowl game. And this will be his last time speaking at Notre Dame Stadium until Monday of next week, when they're in Jacksonville to play South Carolina on Friday. So I got to be there at 2. Really about 1:50, 1:45. So I probably won't get post-game sound from women's. I got to get that, and they're right next to each other. And then newscast is at 5, 5:30, and 6, 30-minute increments. And so he probably going to talk until about 2:30. So, and then I got another story to go to at 6:30. There's a kid from Riley High School who was killed back in 2020, January 2020, I believe, and he's from Riley High School, and he was on the wrestling team. And tomorrow is the senior day for wrestling, and they're going to present the first scholarship in his name. So from start to finish, get to the game about 11:30. Shoot the game to about 1. Probably cut out some highlights from about 1 to 1:15 to 1:40. Go inside the press conference. Shoot that to about 2:30, and then I've got roughly 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on which show they got me in, whether the 5, 5:30, and 6. I probably asked to be in the 5:30 and the 6 to give me a little extra time to turn some video highlights from the game and then to put together what we call a package, which is at least 1 minute and 30 seconds of sound from head coach Marcus Freeman, then his offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator. So that includes finding sound bites, going through 30 minutes of sound and picking out sound bites, typing it all out, typing what the anchor says to toss to me, what I say is my live intro, what I choose as sound bites, what I choose as my recorded voice track in between those different sound bites from Coach Freeman and his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, and then editing all of that, and then having enough time to send that in to editors back at the station, and then going live, knowing my script and going live at 5:30 and 6 o'clock, wherever time slot they got me in, and then packing up, leaving there, going to Riley High School and try to get there in time to shoot presentation of the scholarship, talk to the mother after they do the scholarship of the young boy who passed away a couple of years ago, and then after that, doing the same thing, putting together another package, minute 30 at least, of whatever pictures and videos she have of her son from being on the wrestling team, whatever I get from the wrestling team tomorrow night, and then turning that in for our 10 and 11 o'clock show. And probably not doing it live, but it'll probably be pre-recorded. Me doing my intro, and again, I'm writing all of that out again and editing it in time for a 10 o'clock show.
A 10 o'clock show. Man. So that's a whole day.
That's grind right there.
So
normally I wouldn't go to the women's basketball game because I don't want to work that long, especially on holiday week. But again, like I said, it's just understanding the optics that this is the number 5 team in the country. All eyes are on these young ladies, and they were 5 seconds short of going to this Final Four last year. You know, I'll be okay. I get a rest later. You know, I'll be off Thursday and Friday. I'll be with family. I travel to Jacksonville on Wednesday for the bowl game. I get time to get some rest in. It is what it is. You know, this is my mentor always tells me. This is your entry level station, and you probably won't go to anywhere else, another network where you have to do this much work on your own.
Right. You have a production crew then.
I was going to ask you, man. So you carry all the equipment with you? You have a truck or something that you can do the editing and everything, or you got to go home and come back?
No. So when you take a news call, we have an inverter in there. You plug your laptop up to. You sit in there. You lean the seat back. You got your laptop and you got snacks. Something you smart. You got snacks and water, and you got what we call a live backpack, and you put your USB cord cable dongle in there to send your package off, or send it through whatever, however you choose to send it. And yeah, you work from your car now because I have the privilege of covering sports and working at Notre Dame. It's about 5 minutes from the station. So most of the time I drive back to the station and working in the warm weather, in the warm climate.
So Levon, what happened today? You just took off for me?
You know what? Yes, because we have a massive snowstorm coming in this week, starting Thursday.
Yeah.
So I have my high school basketball show on Saturday where I host with one of my co-hosts, Emily Arnold. So shout out to Emily for joining me this year. But a young Black lady, who needs the opportunity and has the opportunity to build her confidence as she started in the news industry. So because of that storm, there were games today, probably going to be some games tomorrow, but I would anticipate schools canceling games on Thursday and Friday, and I don't want to put myself or any of my photogs/shooters going out to shoot games. I don't want to put them in a situation where their life is at risk because they're traveling through a snowstorm to shoot a basketball game for 15 minutes. It's just not worth it. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
And then get there and ain't nobody show up.
Ain't nobody show up. No,
Right.
it ain't worth nobody's life.
Yeah.
You have a question?
I do. You are such a young man and you're doing so much. First of all, I am so proud of you. I just want to hug you like you're my child, my son, not child, my son. So, where do you see yourself in 10 years, and or where do you feel that you want to go?
In 10 years, I'm trying to think how old I'd be.
Less than 40.
Barely. I'll be 39.
Yeah, still
But in 10 years, I see myself on a large network. I'm not gonna say which one. I don't have a particular choice. I want to be wherever the opportunity is best.
He'll be in Chicago, y'all. He'll be in Chicago.
I do love Chicago. Not the traffic, not the prices, but I love the atmosphere. I want to be where, you know, as far as job, I want to be. My goal is to be, you know, what you see on ESPN First Take. I don't want to be straight on one sport. I'm not a one sport guy. I can talk it all. I do it all. And my goal, if I don't know it all, my goal is to know it. And I want to be able to talk about those political issues that you see in sports. But like I said, in 10 years, probably sideline reporting. And gaining that experience, being a well-known sideline reporter, you know, something of that nature. That's kind of where I want to be in 10 years, a veteran at that. I want to be there next. I want to be there 2 years from now, but I want to be a veteran in 10 years in that field.
You'll be there.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely.
Honey, God is all over you.
I appreciate that.
He is all over you, and for all the opportunities that you're having right now. That's, you know, it's kind of like you've fallen into it, but you're not falling into it. And your work ethic is just amazing. How you're not letting someone hold you down for telling you something like, oh, you know, this is what's going to happen. And it's like, okay, really? Okay, let me show you this. I love it. Love it.
Taking those steps, those patient steps. Jeannie had a question.
Yes, you know, you are really taking the bull by the horns. I just see how you're taking control of your own life and not letting someone else lead you in a direction that you might not even want to go in. But let me ask you, what would be the highlight of your career to you
so far?
Wow.
I would say interviewing Marcus Freeman's father. That was groundbreaking to me. It's a crazy story. It is the craziest thing. I'll just walk y'all through it briefly. I was in the midst of trying to start our first high school basketball show, or convince my director we are the Hoosier State. We should have a high school basketball show. And I was a hit for the high school football show. I was a hit. The people love me. I relate to the kids. This is what I did in Indianapolis. And he was like, yeah, you know, we'll see. It was a lot going on. It was winter time, winter coverage, and Brian Kelly's on his way out the door. We're trying to figure all that out. And so he was obviously, as a director, you wear a lot of different hats. And so that was not the first thing on his plate. And I was upset. And I was visibly upset. And my mother called me and was like, calm down, take what you can get, continue to perfect what you had in your regular journalism career, and being an Elkhart beat reporter, and do that. And she actually sent me some money and said, go get lunch, go home, have a good night. And I did that. I prayed. And at 2:00 in the morning, for some reason, I was up knowing I had to be at work at 9:30. And my director called me and was like, you want to travel to Huber Heights, Ohio, and see if you can find Marcus Freeman's family? And I was like, dude, like, I'm gonna have to put my dog up. I have no money. Like, what am I gonna, you know? But I was like, screw it, let's go. So my girlfriend was like, well, when you gotta hit the road? And I'm like, now, because I gotta be live at 5:00 and it's 9:00 in the morning. I got a 4-hour drive. And I paid off. I emptied my bank account, dropped my dog off at Pet Palace, and
wow.
And I got on the road, to Huber Heights, Ohio. My girlfriend on the way there found Marcus Freeman's last living address, his parents' last living address.
Wow.
I got there at 3 o'clock. I interviewed his former assistant principal, his track coach, and a friend of his from high school. I did that about 3 o'clock, and I had all that ready to go for a 5 o'clock newscast.
Man, God is putting you in the spot.
Yes.
I drove to his father's house after I went live. I knocked on the door, and this big, tall, black guy comes to the door, and he's like, "How can I help you?" I'm like, "I know you're not expecting me, but I'm Levon Whittaker, ABC 57. I want to talk to you about your son taking this job." And he said, well, potentially he hadn't gotten the job yet. I said, potentially taking the job. He said, "Come back to my house tomorrow at 11. Okay.
Wow.
And did an interview with a kid who actually is on Notre Dame's football team now under Marcus Freeman, went to his Marcus Freeman's high school. After that, I went back to the house at 11. And I told the father, I said, "Man, I did not think you were going to open this door." I said, "Can I just come in without the camera and talk to you for a little bit?" And we talked about 30 minutes off camera. And he's like, "All right, bring the camera equipment in." And we did a 30-minute interview. And I didn't tell anybody at my station that I even knew that I had the address, that I was going to talk to him the next day, any of that, until after I talked to him. I called my director. He's like, "Hey, what you got, man?" You know, I just got done interviewing Marcus Freeman's father. And he was like, "What?" I just got done interviewing Mr. Michael Freeman Sr. And he was like, "Get all the whole team in here. Let's go. This is breaking news. You're the only person on the world with this." And so I owe so much. I got so much gratitude for Mr. Freeman, and I went to his house and walked through Marcus Freeman's old bedroom, and I feel like I always get this connection with Mr. Freeman and Marcus Freeman. Now, when I talk to him, we're talking about him and his father, how he's doing, and
Wow,
that was the best moment of my career.
Well, you know what? I got to say this because, you said it real quick, but I heard it. You said your girl got the address. That means she was right there by your side. When is the wedding?
Ride or die.
I call her, she hates the spotlight. I call her Google baby. She Googles everything and is able to find it. She can find
Google baby. Man, we got black.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I like that Google baby.
That's what's up.
Levon, let me ask you this real quick before we go to break. There's a lot of sports shows, because what I see you was doing something like you did with Sports With, okay? That's what I see you doing, all right? You can do whatever the hell you want to do now, but that's what I see. You got your own show where you're bringing people in, you kick back in your Jordans, and
that's the first take thing. That's the first thing.
Come on, let's go, bro. But I'm gonna name a couple people. Tell me what you think about their shows. The dude with the funny hairline. Which one, right? Yeah, there you go. See, he knows.
He is. Look.
What do you think about him? Real quick.
I like Stephen A. Smith. Okay. And here's why. Whether you like it or not, he's going to always tell you how you feel.
Yeah.
Whether you think he got an agenda or not, which sometimes he may. What people don't understand is in the news industry, in the TV industry, there is an agenda. And if you want your paycheck, you're going to come to work the next day. You're going to abide by the rules. Whether you like it or not, or whether you think he's a sellout or whatever, I like him from what he does on camera.
Okay.
I also appreciate he keeps his private life private.
Okay. What about Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Ooh.
I don't know much. Joe Rogan.
You know yeah.
No
the
comment.
wigger. I'm sorry.
that dude.
No comment.
I said that out loud. I'm sorry.
I don't have a comment really on that. I don't like some of the things that he does and supports. But he got his own agenda and he does what he wants to do. It works for him.
All right. Those two dudes, the white and the black dude, I forgot the football player's name.
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, there we go. What do you think about that show? Now, be honest. What do you think about that show?
It's catchy, ain't it? It's catchy. It's a catchy show. It's one of those shows, man. You can watch it. You're going to find little things in it that might be fitting to you, but it ain't really my cup of tea. Right. I'll watch it for the entertainment. Let's watch the little entertainment standpoint. They have a couple of good things in there. I'm honestly, when I watch shows, I watch it so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know, from a producing standpoint, from a character standpoint. That's why I watch the show. And I can really stuff they're talking about. I got my own opinion, and I'm really just trying to get on and tell my opinion. And I don't really care what they say.
I know, and you get, you know, you do it well, man. I remember a couple of times you went with me to a basketball game that we were doing for I forgot what sports station that was, man, but you did a fantastic job with that as well. Because I had to grab Levon because we needed somebody. I couldn't do it, you know. I'm not a sportscaster. I'm a comedian, but he got on there, man, and was like, hey, blah 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 blah. It was a basketball team for a semi-pro league. Did his thing. Right?
That was fun. That was real fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. You know, and the reason I mentioned Shannon Sharp and the other guys because Shannon Sharp can't talk. I mean, he has. I mean, how did he get? Was it because he was a football player and he just spoke what was on his mind? Is there a certain standard that you look for when you're watching these shows?
Not really, because it's my thing is I'm trying to figure out how I can make my mark. You know, how I can look at what you did and what you put together and what your producers put together, and how can I put that in and bring that to what I do. How can if Shannon Sharp was up there with backwoods and liquor and all that stuff? Okay, I can't do that.
Right.
But what can I bring on the show to be like, this is how my people get down. Like, this is how we show like we in chill mode. We good. Right? Or we stressed out and we need something. Like, how can I bring that on? Those type of athletes go like, they got a foot in the door already. And because they have a viewership already, because he got millions of viewers on, followers and stuff on his social media, well, that just translates to views.
Right.
And views is money. So that's really how they get their foot in the door. But then you got other guys that take it the extra mile. Jay Williams, who goes and gets speech training, stuff like that, things like that matter and really help enhance your on-camera presence.
Wow.
Real quick before Marcy comes on, Zell, you had a question? Go.
Yeah. Caught me drinking. Not drink. It's just water, not drinking.
Like gin to me. Go ahead.
All right, I got a quick question, Levon. As you were sharing your story about your journey, what advice would you give to someone that feels like they're at a crossroads in their life as to pursuing what their passion is, what they really want to do, versus doing what's comfortable and what they've already been doing?
Take the leap of faith, and you'll never be disappointed.
Good advice.
Short, sweet, and simple. Marcy.
Yes. Okay, let's take us a break real quick to redirect. Let's regroup and refocus. Come on, Jeff. Let's do it.
Now listen, I know I've been on here before, and I know I've said this before, but please do not let fear stop you from your dreams. I'm here to tell you, fear is the number one thing that holds us back from wanting to move forward with anything that we do in this life. The thing is, you have to take risks. You have to step out on faith. You have to do, as Levon was talking about earlier, take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. You never know in what direction it might lead you in. Who cares if you might hit a roadblock? There are going to be some roadblocks here and there and some in between. But once you take advantage of those opportunities, guess what? You might hit a bump in the road. You might hit a damn brick wall, but you are that bulldozer that's going to go through that wall and get to the next step. And that door that opens up is going to be the threshold that changes the game.
So life coach Jeff Rutherford, always
real.
It's on point, okay? Got a podcast Mondays. Y'all check him out. He got another show too called
Changing the Narrative.
That's what it's called. You thought I wasn't gonna say it.
I didn't know.
I got you, man. I got you. And we are talking today with ABC 57 sportscaster Levon Levon. I'm gonna say it right now, man. Levon. I've been saying Levon for all this time, okay, but I know it's Levon. Levon Whittaker, man, we appreciate you, number one, hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's always good to see you, brother, for real, man. It's like family, man. Gina, you had a question?
No. I mean, he got so much history to be so young, and you know, you're just filling this up with everything that you're doing, and you know, letting everybody know that just get out there and knock those doors down. One door slams in your face, you go to the next one, kick it open. I appreciate that.
Levon, if there was one regret that you had coming through this whole journey of yours, what would it be?
Not taking that leap sooner.
You know what? I would say that's not a regret because you took it. God sent you there when it was your time to be there. If you'd have taken it sooner, you might have not been successful because it wasn't your time.
Talk that talk, Marcy. Hey, Jeff, you had a question?
Y'all
Wait, I was like, dang, I was gonna say that.
But exactly though, because that's what I was going to see. My question was going to be, how do you feel that in your career that since you are so young, dude, you young, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've accomplished a lot,
Right.
You know what I mean? You've accomplished way more than what most 28-year-olds can do.
Man.
And then when we come to find out, I asked you about your whole day, and then you come across you in charge of doing A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Brother, you the whole damn team. Do you feel me? You are the man. You know what I mean? So I was just gonna ask you, like, at times, do you ever get so overwhelmed? You know what I mean? That you get so engrossed in your work, because I can tell you already love doing it. You know what I mean? That you have to kind of take a step back and get your mind right so you can get back in that headspace to say, all right, let's get back to it.
Certainly. Man, I just got done with 12 weeks of college football, and 4 weeks on, had a bye week. But the next 8 weeks, it was
non-stop, huh?
Pretty much 7 days a week. Pretty much 7 days. I probably had a Sunday here and there where I only worked for a couple hours, but every single day I was working. Wow. So when I got back from the very last game, Notre Dame men's and women just happened to have marquee games the entire week, and nobody had to tell me to go. I'm like, this is a big deal. We playing UConn, Michigan State, Maryland. Like, I'm there. Yeah. But I didn't realize until I went to the UConn game how tired I was. It was a big game. It was an upset, and I was out of it. Didn't care. Didn't know. So with those moments, man, I really had to take a step back and say, you can't be everything for everybody.
There you go.
We're going to have to miss out on a couple of things because that's not where we at in this station, right? We don't have a sports department. It is you. And so doing that, as well as second year in our high school basketball show that I started, it was take a step back, relax, regroup, and
refocus.
Refocus. Make sure you got some other things in place. Yeah. Hey, look. Right. That's what we do. I'm like, wait a minute.
Move that out the way.
So, yeah, I definitely have those times where I got to be like, all right, bro, you can't do everything.
Right.
And that might come tomorrow, and I probably can't go to the last story that I plan to go to, even though there's a very heartwarming story. And it sucks sometimes. People hit me up about youth events and kids committing to college, and I've become somebody that the community looks to do stories, and I appreciate it. I love it. It sucks to say no sometimes because I have to think about where I'm at, and that although this is my journey, I'm not on this journey alone. I got little brothers that look up to me. I got a community that looks up to me. My girlfriend is the most supportive person. God bless her soul, because she does not. She is the most non-complaining person I've met in my life. She will literally not raise a complaint about anything.
That's what's up.
And
yeah,
so
should have had her on too.
Man,
good luck. Now she will say no to that. But you know, and so she, even though she doesn't express that I need you to slow down, I just know, you know, when it's time for me to direct my attention to her for a little bit, and
that's good.
She won't ask for it, or even go home and spend time with my parents. Like, they live an hour away, so I need my mom. I went home yesterday, spent time with my father. I needed that time with my father. You know, so those moments they really reset you, and definitely gonna have a fun time resetting this week. Get to see my little brothers. I'm the oldest of 3, so I get to see my little brothers for the first time. Well, we saw each other on Thanksgiving, but we don't see each other often, so we all grown. So
yeah, how they doing?
That's what's up.
they're doing good, man. They're doing good, man. Devin is man. You know Devin. That's the wild card, man. That's in a good way. He's charming. He's all of the above, man. Devin is the guru. So Devin is good. Aaron is doing great, figuring out life at the age of 21. So
hey man, tell Devin I said it's only ocho. He'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what that means.
Ocho
Private joke.
Every
Private
time I
joke.
used to see Devin, man, you know, back at Theoboma, which is the school that you guys went to, me and him would always joke and laugh, and I say, it's only ocho. And he would crack. He would get on the floor. He knows what it means. Just tell him I said, hey, and tell him it's only ocho.
Yeah, that's definitely the character.
And he has the most supportive parents, man. I mean, pops and moms, they were always there, always making sure he was straight. You know, and like you said, he's the oldest of 2 other brothers, so we had to lead by example.
Example.
And,
Doing that.
great job, man. A fantastic job.
Doing that.
So again, man, thank you for coming to the show.
Yes.
I know I'm not gonna get a chance to talk to him like in this fashion for a minute. All right. So I appreciate you taking this time out, man, because I know we've been trying to do this for a minute, and you finally got, broke away. And I thank you, man, for doing that for old Coach Gray, though.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. You know, I remember back when I got, you I think it was you, when I got the Railcast MVP trophy. Yeah, at the Railcast Stadium. Yeah, those moments, man.
Did your thing that day, boy, for real.
Man, I was fighting amongst giants that day. You got Josiah Moore on your team, man. You know, that's my boy.
You had Josiah, you had Antonio
Pipkin, you got
Gordon,
you fighting amongst giants, man, for real. Like I said, boys are talented.
Hey, if it wasn't for you that game, dude, it was getting out of hand. Okay,
it was.
You did your thing, though, man.
For sure.
You did your thing. A lot of memories there, man. A lot of memories. I've seen this guy, like I said, since high school, man. A lot of memories. So, here he is now. And the most important thing is that you're succeeding. Okay, he's part of an Emmy award-winning team now. He got an Emmy, man. Still got an Emmy.
Yes,
that's fine. That's a May.
Wait, 29 got an Emmy,
dude.
What?
Come on.
I'm 32. I ain't got no awards, man. I ain't got nothing.
Got a few plaques and some paper stuff. The certificates that they make up in the computer and stuff.
Certificate.
An Emmy.
You know, the thing I say about the Emmy, though, I was actually just telling my girl on the phone earlier, and my family was all calling and trying to figure out, what was going on and why I didn't tell them all about the news earlier that I was nominated and all this stuff. And I was just like, it's good. It's great, And my auntie tried to make it. We need to have a family dinner at it. I'm like, relax. I went to work the next day. I got back from Chicago from the award show. I was at work the next day at 3:00. Because at the end of the day, the Emmy means something, but it don't mean everything.
It's
not get back to work.
It's not the be all the end all. Yeah.
It's not the be all end all. I gotta get back to work. I gotta win me an Emmy for sports. That wasn't for sports. I want one for sports. I want my own personal Emmy. Then I gloat a little bit, but even still, you gotta get back to work. The work don't stop.
There it is. Hey man, as we leave every day, man, we allow our guests as well as everybody on the show to give some words of wisdom, some hope for some people out there, man. And we're gonna start with you, Levon.
Oh man, I was hoping to.
I'm sorry.
To the veterans first.
Nah. You're a veteran now, friend. Exactly. You can't even call me Mr. Gray no more, Coach. You're wrong.
You got awards now, man.
He for real grown, huh?
Oh man, my words of encouragement, right?
Yes, sir.
Words of encouragement. Trust in God. Yes. You can never pray enough and have down to earth talks with God enough, even when you maybe feel like you're not enough, maybe you feel like you haven't done enough, and maybe you feel like you're not where you want to be. Talk to God, pray, and be realistic with yourself and where you are. But don't let where you are stop you from where you're trying to get to. If you got a goal, Your job is to write it down and do the steps necessary to reach that goal. I wrote the goal down. I wanted to be a sports reporter back in 2020. I wrote that down. Never wrote down my goals before. I wrote that goal down.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's my first time writing goals down. And I still have that paper. And I'm about to write some more down this week. Because
come on, don't
in the Bible, I can't remember where in the Bible. Forgive me, pops. My pops is a pastor, but it says in the write them down. Write them down. And then trust in him. And do not worry. Worrying does not equal faith. You got to have faith that he's going to get you where you want to be. And lean on your support system. Lean on your support system. Friend, family, lean on your support system. Greg has been a part of my support system. Coach Gray has been a huge part of my support system.
He can't even do it. He can't call me.
Another
I'm trying to
title.
follow instructions. But no, lean on your support system, man. Like my cousins, my family, my girlfriend's family, my people here at the station watch me grow. Been a part of that. Don't be afraid to let people see your growth, your mistakes. I made a post on Instagram not too long ago where I posted a video that wasn't cute. It wasn't pretty. I didn't do a great job, but that's part of my mistakes. And Instagram, social media, you normally only see the good. You never see nobody really post a bad picture on social media.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Post those mistakes, enlighten them, embrace them rather, those mistakes. From them.
That's what's up. Marcel, I'm gonna let you follow that.
You gonna let me follow that? Okay, like he said, follow God, put God first and his kingdom first. Be obedient, because sometimes we ask God for something, he tells us something, and it's like, that's not really what I want to do. And then you're disobedient and you don't get the results that you really truly want. Now I said that, but that's what I wanted to say. We're talking to Levon Whittaker today, and he is such an inspiration to young people. He's a young guy himself. He's doing so much. God has just really blessed him, and with blessings upon blessings. And my thing that I wanted to say is, I just lost my thought again, but y'all got excuse me. This is gonna be one of our bloopers. What did I want to say? Can you come back to me? Can you come back to me?
What's up, bro?
Man, look, dude,
Can I finish? I know what I'm saying. It's real quick. As we see Levon Whittaker and what he's doing in his life, and the Emmy Award, and all the things that he's doing in his life, guess what? That's dope living.
Ha ha ha!
Now that's how you end it off, sis. You better be strong.
That's dope living. You stole part of my thunder, right? But anyway, Levon, look, man. Usually I'm chatting it up and answering 19 million questions tonight. You have gave me the shock and awe. Dude, this is something that I try to explain to a lot of young men I come in contact with. God gives you a gift, and you're always asking for it in prayer and just like Marcy said, you got to go do this. All you have to do is reach out there and go get your blessing. Be persistent and consistent.
Like Coach
Levon, you out here doing it, man. I'm rooting for you. And I know when you write the rest of them goals down on that paper, I know you're going to follow through with them, because you write where you're supposed to be. You write what God has placed you in this moment in time right now. So, brother, just keep moving forward and keep taking advantage of them opportunities, man. I ain't got to tell you that. You're going to do it anyway.
Right.
Let's go.
Levon, brother, congratulations on all your success. You are an inspiration to so many. So please continue. The biblical scripture you were referring to is Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain. So what we need to do is let's create a vision board. Go out there and write your visions, whatever it is that you aspire to do. Write that down. Work towards it. And as Levon said, take a leap of faith. Levon, thank you, sir.
Gina.
I'm going to tell you, Levon, you are the older of two brothers, two young Black men. One of the things that you can be very, very proud of is your two brothers have someone to look up to, someone that is successful, and someone that they can say, I want to follow in his footsteps. If nothing else, that should make you smile every time you go to bed at night. keep going, keep doing it. And one of the things that you said that is so true, write down that vision. Write it down. It will come to prosper.
Hey, man, look, let me tell you this, man. Wrap it up in a nutshell. He started the same way as everyone. We all came from the dirt. We went to school. We went to high school. We went to college. You know, the same opportunities that avail everybody. And sometimes we miss them. Levon took. He said, I'm going to take every opportunity that comes my way. And that's what we all should do. We weed them out, of course, but we need to take them all and fail at some in order to succeed at other things, all right? Because the ones that we failed at may not have been that step that was going to take us to where we needed to go to. So we got to go through those things, all right? We got to go through something to get to something. And that's what little brother Levon did. So Levon, hey, man, again, man, we wanted to celebrate you. We did that. Give people their flowers while they're here, okay? And this guy, he got a long way to go, all right? Levon Whittaker, ABC 57, out in South Bend, man. We appreciate you coming through, bro.
Yes, we do.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Great.
I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate the leadership. I appreciate y'all for real. Thank you.
Most definitely. It's Dope Living TV Live, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow with some Black Girl Magic tomorrow, all right? So
peace.
Peace out.